Hi guys, so Anne Widdecombe appeared on the Jeremy Vine show to defend Brexit once again. This follows a number of news stories that have highlighted the rising cost and reduced availability of medicines and pharmaceutical products. While the UK's reliance on Europe has dropped over the last number of years, it must be remembered that Britain imports about 90% of its medicines. This means that it's extremely exposed to any near or global supply issues. Anne refused to allow Brexit to be blamed. Why? Well, because it's a bit of a cult. Have a listen to this.
There are drug shortages and it's due to global instability and particularly with Asia.
So not Brexit?
No, it's not Brexit.
Is it, Peg? Do you think it's Brexit?
Yeah, of course it's Brexit. But I mean, everything's been affected by Brexit pretty much. I mean, I think, it's honestly, it's crazy to suggest that Brexit isn't having massive impacts on so many
What's
different
that got
things.
to do with...
Hang on,
I am going to ask this. What has Brexit got to do with the problem with Asia and shortages? What has it got to do with it?
Well, maybe we're hard to sell to. I don't know.
Here
Peg
you've
can
got
answer.
a completely
Let
different...
Peg answer.
Doesn't mention
Because there
Brexit.
will be trade deals with Europe, which will mean that those drugs are coming through. Why are we suffering with shortages that other European countries aren't?
You remember the vaccinations that we got precisely because we did have Brexit?
Oh, yeah, everyone
I'm not going to repeat that video once again.
mentions the vaccinations is the go-to argument. I know.
No, my go-to argument is that you've got a completely different paper, doesn't mention Brexit, because actually this is a global issue. And if we are serious, we will look at the issue, not at just trying to blame Brexit.
Okay, but you're right. There are global issues, but with this, there are Brexit-specific reasons. Because one of the requirements for customs checks is that because Britain's left the EU's European Medicines Agency that approves drugs, we actually need to have a longer process. So obviously there are factors like manufacturing problems and the war in Ukraine and inflation. But the reality is Brexit. But Brexit is still a contributing factor.
Peg, you think? Let's go back to Brexit because it may be that we haven't done all of our trade deals yet to replace the European trade deals.
Well, the trade deals that were going to be so easy, we would just be able to negotiate them straight away. There was so much naivety about those trade deals. They were never going to be easy. They were never going to be quick. We've just left ourselves in this crazy situation.
OK, Anne, I told you off for chuntering, but you can now speak.
Oh, thank you very much, and I'll chunter if I want to chunter.
Well, no, just because if Peg's down the line...
You allow other people to chunter.
I don't allow chuntering.
So if you allow chuntering... I'm
back at school now.
You are
I believe in equality and chuntering.
OK.
And if you allow one person to chunter, you allow us all to chunter.
But the thing is, if Peg's down the line and you chunter, she can't hear you. But anyway, you can now speak properly now.
Thank you.
You forgot what you wanted to say, haven't you?
Probably, yes. What I was going to say was that Peg goes on about how hard it is to get the trade deals. The fact is we've got some excellent trade deals, but it's... Oh, have you heard of the Pacific trade deal? You missed that one.
Well, I thought the last thing I heard was that we hadn't managed to do one with Canada. But listen, Liam Fox...
Oh, but we did one with the Pacific. We just throw that away.
Your colleague, Liam Fox, who you probably get on with very well, said this is the post-Brexit trade deal will be the easiest trade deal in history.
And a lot of other people, including me, who were doing Brexit, said it may take a while, but it will be worth it.
Okay.
It'll be worth it. So a shortage of drugs is worth it. Worth what? Now, before Brexit, the UK imported about $27 billion worth of pharmaceuticals from the European Union. Post-Brexit, it has dropped to $19 billion. Germany and Belgium were the biggest exporters. But as was pointed out, the uncertainty around checks and paperwork have made things much more complicated, which of course has resulted in delays. These delays don't exist within EU member states because they have the common market, they have the single market, they have a common framework. The UK is outside that. The UK is not a massive hub. The European Union is a massive hub. The pandemic has affected the supply chain as well between the EU and Great Britain. So until that's resolved, that's going to be a problem. And once again, the pandemic has created a problem, but because the UK, or I should say Great Britain, because Northern Ireland is different, but because GB is outside that, it's going to create problems for the foreseeable future. Britain has tried to import more from China, as was pointed out here in this report, but this carries its own problems, such as supplier selection, communication issues, quality control, logistics, and delays, of course, when it comes to customs. So if the UK was a member of the European Union, it could still import from China, yes, but it would have the European Medicines Agency and the EU-based hubs doing most of the heavy lifting. But Anne Widdecombe doesn't want to refer to that because that would be, well, pointing out a problem of Brexit. So when you're part of a bigger organisation, you're able to demand better prices, you're able to import more, you're able to have member states carry some of the load when it comes to the bureaucracy. But when you're on your own, you have to do all of these things yourself. And that's difficult, it's complicated, and it's expensive. And that's one of the reasons why there are so many delays. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.